Hey guys, and welcome to Three Questions with Pastor Carney. I'm Phil Kuhn. We got Billy behind the mic in the production studio, and then we got Pastor Carney, of course. Billy, let's get going with three questions.
We all have questions, and Pastor Carney has answers. We all want to know what he thinks. There's important information to know. What are his thoughts? How did he get here? What's his favorite golf ball? It's time for Three Questions with Pastor Carney.
Easy.
Well, I'm going to go with rising from the dead.
Correct.
Okay.
But other than that,
No.
okay. I thought maybe you wanted, that's the obvious one, and you want me
Nope.
to think of one that I thought of besides that one.
No, not besides.
So I'm going to go with Jesus rising from the dead.
Okay. And why?
Well, can I borrow the words of Jesus?
Sure.
I hope so.
Because he lives, I too shall live.
Okay.
How's that for a short answer?
That-
For me. Yeah.
Golf clap for that.
That,
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be about a 4-minute three questions then. So,
No.
Phil, how about you?
No, honestly, I mean, I think
well,
that's...
I mean, I can expound if you want me to, but use that line and just say it's a short answer, but I think it's a bad answer because
Okay.
Jesus lived, so do I.
And I think that is the biggest answer, right? That's what I was going to say as well. But I also love the story of, all of Jesus's first miracles, that line of progression. And obviously in watching The Chosen, which is not the Bible, but it's been really cool to see some of these miracles come to life, changing water to wine. But the one that really stands out to me is the gentleman who's been paraplegic for 30 years or something like that. And he's laying down there and Jesus is just, come on, get up, follow me. And then, so that stretch of miracles, would that be Matthew where those miracles happen? So, I mean, I love those, but I think the ultimate miracle is Jesus living a perfect life, dying for us, and then rising from the dead. People can't just do that. So,
Yeah, and it might not be a miracle in the way we think of a biblical miracle,
Okay.
but I'm also thinking of a second one that comes to my mind is where they're bringing this man in to see Jesus to be healed.
Mm-hmm.
And they get to the house, and there were just scores of people all over the place. And they're going, how are we going to get this guy to Jesus here? Well, let's just say, excuse me. They get to the house. They still can't get to see Jesus. So they get this man up on the roof. They make a hole in the roof, and they drop him down. It's not a biblical-ish type of miracle, but It's a miracle. They get that guy from where he was
Up onto the roof.
That's right, down to Jesus.
Yeah.
And I just love that story too.
Okay.
But yeah.
I would have to say that I would disagree,
let's hear it.
as I always do.
Okay.
That your example, I would say, is number 2 of the greatest miracle.
Oh.
The greatest miracle, I would say, happens at Genesis 1:1.
Yeah.
Genesis 1:1. There is nothing, and then God creates everything.
Mm.
Without that one miracle, none of the other miracles happen. To really think about it as a scientific-minded type person, to take nothing and create everything is unfathomable. And when I die, I hope I get the revelation of how that happened.
Tohu vavohu in Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
God just took another. There it is.
Yeah.
Bless you. It was good.
Yeah, like what some people say, just his pure thought creates everything. So
That is quite a miracle.
Yeah.
Is there one miracle that is more meaningful than the other?
Ooh, that's a good question.
of those two,
Yeah.
I would say probably meaningful as far as the sinful human would probably be the resurrection.
And yet when he
Because
created us, there was no sin.
because I'm sinful, so I can't do it on my own. So this is a selfish thing that Jesus did it for me so that I don't have to do it myself. Whereas if creation never happened, I wouldn't exist. So meaningful, I would say resurrection.
I think that's a really good one though, Billy.
Yeah.
Creation. That is incredible to think about. That's why so many people don't believe it could happen.
I know who I'm going with.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go first.
Oh, well, I'm going to go when Jesus is on the cross.
No, okay.
Is that what you were gonna say?
I'm not going there.
Okay.
Okay. So good. Good.
When Jesus was on the cross and he looks at John, right, and he says, "This is your mother," and mother, this is your son. I think it's beautiful because it shows right then and there that love and family is not about blood. And it's that the love that a mother has for a child, but someone that she loves, but then also later through life as a child grows up, take care of this person, love this person, be there for this person, support this person. So I think that's a beautiful moment, especially coming from a family, obviously, where we have Chloe, who's adopted, where we are firm believers that a mother's love or any kind of love for family is not dependent on blood, but it is the love that you feel for that person, acts of service that you give that person, and making a choice to say, you are my child, you are my parent, you are whatever. I think that's beautiful. But that's the story that comes just to mind. I'm sure there's other good ones.
We discussed this in my adult Bible study the other day. And it was a tangential conversation off of what we were discussing. But the question came up of why would he have said that to John, other than John was the only one there. But why would not he have just assumed that his brothers would have taken care of his mother?
Good question.
But my answer to them was none of his brothers believed at that point. So they weren't, in my estimation, in a position to care for her with the pushback that was obviously going to come on her after his resurrection. Whereas John had been walking with him and understood brotherly love under Christ, what that meant. And he was in a better position to protect and care for her. His brothers, his actual brothers, had more growing yet to do, which they obviously did, but
spiritual growth.
And they needed to put their efforts into that instead of protecting their mother. So that's kind of where I went with it.
That's an interesting thought process. I've never thought about that before.
My answer is pretty well an easy answer. And that's because I'm using this person in my Mother's Day sermon. So I already know my answer.
All right.
And that's the mother of Moses.
Mother of Moses.
And the
wow.
reason for that,
so the birth mother of Moses or Pharaoh's sister?
Pharaoh's daughter, I mean?
Pharaoh's daughter, sorry.
Two. Anyway, we're not keeping it down. Getting spicy in here. Anyway, where was I going? And the reason for that is because what the birth mother, to answer your question, the birth mother, because what she had to do in order to save her son, she tried to hide him first,
right?
And then he just got too big to hide anymore, and they were out searching for kids, okay? And so she said, the only way I can save my son is to put him in a basket and virtually give him away, and hoping that sister will go down and walk with him and say, oh, I know where he is, and come back and get mother, which did happen.
Yeah.
But the whole act of giving up your son in order to save his life, what was going through her heart or even her head, that I got to give him up, hopefully somebody will take care of him, type of thing. I mean, there are times I joke around about, give my kids up, but that's a huge joke. Yeah. Not serious. She didn't do it seriously.
Yeah.
And so I would say the mother of Moses.
Okay.
That's a really good one. I like that one.
Mine definitely would have to be, would be Mary.
Oh, okay.
Just the greatest example of a mother taking care of a child because, while Jesus was her son, he was also Savior to all of us, and to care for that and take on that responsibility is immense. So,
another one just came to mind. If we have another minute, it was Elizabeth, correct? Who was extremely old and had been waiting for a very long time. Okay. I also love that story because I feel like there are a lot of moms out there who either have had children and they want to have another child, or maybe they're not a mom yet and they've been struggling to have children and their heart is heavy. And especially coming up this Sunday, there's a piece of them that is missing because they've been wanting to have that child. And I think about Elizabeth for how long she waited, right? And she was 90 years old or something, and laughed at the thought of having a child. I'm not saying that if you're 90 years old, you're going to have a child, but I do want to encourage you, if you are a mom out there or a mom to be in the future, to keep that faith, We love you. We're praying for you. We're there with you. Because again, none of us in this room are a mom. We can never imagine what that's like to not, carry a child when you want to. But I think it is important to remember those women out there this week who are maybe hurting, who have not only maybe lost children, but who might not be able to have children of their own. There's one that comes to my mind right off the bat. She always, throughout my entire life, and even now today, always says, the devil is going to try to divide us. As a family, as a church, as a nation, he is going to try to divide us. He's roaring around like a lion. She's always said this. And as a kid, I used to go, oh my gosh, Mom, we've heard this a million times. We know the devil's roaring around like a lion. He wants to devour us, right? But now as an adult, it is stuck with me. And I try to take that with me in my everyday of, is this worth fighting about? Is this conversation going to divide us? Is it going to bring us together? And so that is something that my mom, and she always, so it was that, and then also respect. One word, respect. And we would be doing something and we laugh about it and we joke about it. We used to make these improv skits where we'd act like our mom and say, respect, right? And she would laugh at it and everything. But just a simple word, respect, right? Respecting our elders, respecting people around us, respecting parents, respecting siblings, whatever it is, it was one word, respect. I think that says a lot. So
Good answer.
And of course, my faith. I mean, she always poured, love the Lord, serve the Lord, follow the Lord. It's the most important thing you ever do. So long answer, but there you go.
Good answer.
To have friends, you must be a friend.
That's good.
As a child, I was a rather rebellious individual, especially with my friends. And that was a lesson that she had imparted onto me.
Good answer.
Very good.
Good answer.
All right. It's been
So
three
good
questions.
answers, guys. Good
Yeah,
answers.
thanks.
Good answers. Good answers.
It's been 3 questions with Pastor Carney. I'm Phil, Pastor Carney, Billy, signing off. We'll see you next time.
God bless.
Thanks again for joining us. If you have any questions about Redeemer, have a topic or interview suggestion, or need to know anything about the church, you can contact the church office at churchoffice@redeemerwarsaw.org,
Pastor Carney at pastor_Carney@redeemerwarsaw.org,
Phil at phil.prevail@gmail.com, or Billy at rlc_it@redeemerwarsaw.org. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Please join us again next week. And until then, may the Lord be with your spirit and grace be with you.
Hey guys, and welcome to 3 Questions. Maybe I should do my tongue exercise. All right, here we go.